of these new regulatory scrutiny that we're seeing from the government, is this a long-term positive or negative when it comes to the market implications? We already have seen the reaction from the likes of Kakao, Coupang really losing ground, but what does this mean long-term?
Well, I think if you're talking about long-term, I think this is, moderately positive. I mean, when there is competition, more innovation happens. So obviously, trying to foster competition is always, I think positive. But for the large companies which have gained a lot of dominance, that also means that, there's going to be a threat on their monopoly power. So I think it goes both ways.
In the meantime, how do you position in the markets then?
Well, we haven't been, very positive on the Korean big tech names, especially after they ran up so much. So I think a lot of the expectations on, the very good business quality and a monopoly, and I think the market has been baking in a very long-term growth. But when there's some uncertainty to that, I think the valuation has to give, and that's what it has been happening. So we still stay in the sidelines with these companies.
What would you want to see in terms of changes in the inflationary outlook to change that view?
Well, as you've mentioned, the inflation also plays a role. So obviously, we'll have to see the inflation and the rates stabilizing. But we are at such a low interest rate, and I do believe that there is more room for the rates and rates to go up. So in the short term, I'm not really finding a convincing time to get into these stocks. I would like to see how the regulations and other uncertainties unfold, and then the valuation. So I'll wait out.
Are there tech names that have better growth and survival prospects than others, and others that are more vulnerable, do you think, to the regulatory environment?
Well, yes. In the Korean market, I do, within the tech space, I prefer the semi names and also the semi and EV battery material names. And the main reason is that, these companies are targeting global markets. So in terms of the regulation, the other big tech names are mainly focused on the Korean domestic market, which would put them under a lot more influence of regulatory risks. So I think that's a difference. And also in terms of the valuation, these companies tend to be cheaper. While the EV battery material names have run up really a lot, you have some names in that sector which are still trading at high teens. So if you really seek out those few names, then I do believe that there are opportunities there.